Today's project is to build a chicken house, and it's the first time I'm using this roof. I just made this roof attached to the house. It's raining about 50 degrees, and I intend to build this chicken house about that big, about 6 foot tall. So my latest project is this chicken house behind me. I found this picture on the internet and I thought that seemed logical, seemed like a good design. One of the things I'm trying to do is give them a warm place when it's particularly cold, and I thought up in here they can roost and it'll be warm, but I'm not going to put that cover there, that opening. So here's so here it is. I probably need a microphone, but anyway, this isn't attached yet, so I can move this over. And one thing I want to talk about is how you do the plan it, and design it. So this top part here is designed to be half a sheet of plywood, 48 by 48. And so in order to achieve that, the frame has to be smaller. And so the way I designed that is figure that you got to subtract 1.5 inches at least when you put the board up like this, and then 1/2 inch for the edge on each side is another inch. So, and then the way I did it was, if you cut, if you overlap each time like this, then they can all be the same length, because one butts up like this, or one overhang, this one overhangs, and then it butts up here. So this is just, each one you subtract 1.5 inches. And where's my tape measure? I forget now what it came out to. I think it was 45.5. Yeah, 45.5. So and then this is 6 foot tall. So then another thing is, to when you want this sheet here is roughly 48 by 48. It's actually 47.5 inside here, and also these overlap the same way. But so in order to get this to work, you want to use you don't want this to be a full 4 foot from here to here, to the bottom here. You don't want these to be exactly 2 foot. You want to subtract a little, so the 48 will hit. And then I made a little mistake here, there. Now on the inside, I had to put, when I built the frame, I had to put an extra board to make the corners. So the frame is there. These boards wrap around the frame. Frame's on the inside, or the uprights are on the inside. This wraps around, and then that board there is necessary for the corner, the plywood to hit the corner. And this is their roost. So I frame in this is going to be the door, frame that in. And I had some drop-offs for this, so I left spaces so the poop can fall through or be swept through. And then the bottom's going to get covered with screen, and I'll have a bed of pine shavings on the bottom. And I thought when I first go to put them in here, I might leave it open a little more, screened or something, because I'm not sure how they're going to react to having to being completely enclosed up here on this roof, on this roost. But I think it's necessary when it gets pretty, 10 degrees below freezing or so. I think it's pretty cold for them. And I could put a heat lamp too, shining down like those, shining down on the top if it's really cold and I think it's necessary. So the chicken house is pretty well finished. Finished enough to use. I wouldn't have minded painting it white. I got the bottom fenced in. This door isn't too wonderful, but I guess it'll work. And so now I'm gonna go get the chickens. They're gonna be, it's dark, so I'll just pick them off the roost. I could put this thing, let me put this thing on sensitive. It's kind of a oh man, it's been so rainy here, but it hasn't been cold, but it's gonna be cold tonight. So let's see if we can see them. It's dark. They're sitting on that roost. See them? Yeah, you can see them. I just pick them off that roost one by one. They're very easy, as chickens go. See how nice he is? Isn't he sweet? I mean, she. Yeah. You got mud on your head. Look at those feet like a dinosaur. Yeah. See how you like the new inner house. Used to. You got a muddy head too. Ooh. So the test is going to be if they roost, because the roost is completely enclosed and there's no windows or anything. But I figure that's the best way for it to be warm. It's pretty cold out here. Let's see if the chickens are roosting. I've got the light on. I don't know if that'll make a difference for them. They're not in the bottom. Nope, they're sitting. They're not roosting. Well, still, that's better than being out in the cold. Eventually, they'll probably roost. I wonder where the bunny is. He probably can handle this cold, but we like to put him in anyway. Let's see, I don't see him. Sometimes he sits right here in the corner and I can just grab him, but I don't see him. So things haven't gone the way I hoped with this chicken hutch. For one thing, they don't really like it because it's too enclosed, but I did that so it would get warm. They never roosted on this bar. I suspect because it's so closed in up there, they were afraid to get up there. I don't know. Maybe eventually they would have, I don't know, but mostly they sit on this thing here, and the second thing was it never got warm enough. Even if they'd have been up there on that roost, see, it was supposed to be warmer up there. And I had the heat lamp on it, plus their body heat, but it's too, I don't think it's going to work for that. I did think about putting a heater down here, or in here somewhere, like a radiator heater maybe, which I probably could do. Put a radiator heater in there and then maybe I have to put some sort of a shield over it. Keep poop off of it. Maybe put it behind a screen as well. I guess if I put it higher, I had thought about putting it down there, but if I put it up in here somewhere, I could against that back wall. I could kind of make a shelf against that back wall.
put a radiator heater there, and they wouldn't be able to poop on it. But
and there wouldn't be much chance of fire either. That's a worry constantly about fire. But what I think I'm really going to do is take off one of these wood panels, like this one maybe, and just put this screen all the way up. So one side, that side will just be screen all the way up. And then the roost is attached, but isn't attached to this board, so that'll be all right. I didn't put a heck of a lot of nails in it, so it'll come off. And then put it in the garage for winter, and then the summer it can be used in the yard on a nice day. That's my idea at this point. Of course, this is design build. When you're doing design build, these things happen, as far as, particularly since I'm not a expert on chicken hutches to start with. And so my point is, do it anyway. This is what I believe you should try to do design build. And oh, one other thing too is I busted that window. I was trying to move it, tilting it, and I was thinking, oh, I could get somebody to help me, but then I didn't, and then smash, I busted that window. It's not busted on the inside. That'll maybe be another handyman video repairing that window. One problem too with that radiator heater, you don't want it to get too hot. I only want it to be like 34 degrees would be okay. And but I could have a thermostat. I would have to attach it to a thermostat, like in the ceiling, to keep it from getting too warm. Which could be done, but I don't see it happening just right now. I think if I put it in the garage, I just got to find space for it. It can more or less go as is, except I was going to take that board off, but that won't be too difficult. I kind of need to do that anyway. If I was going to install a radiator heater, I'd have to take a panel off to get in there. So I took the panel off, I took the side off, and two things. One is, I usually screw everything, but this I nailed. So it was a little bit harder getting that panel off, but then again, wasn't that big of a deal really, got it off. And the other thing I'm thinking is, I need a panel to come off normally. I need to, have a panel that comes off for cleaning, which I really didn't plan on. So I might do the whole thing, but I don't have a 4 foot. That fence is only 3 foot. That's what's bumming me out about that part. If it was a 4 foot fence, I could. But anyway, I'm still, I think I could heat this to, let's say 40 degrees. Because 34 degrees is, it'd be hard to, even 40, I'm not sure how you regulate a temperature, because generally your house thermostats won't go below 50. So anyway, that'll be something in the future. Plus, how would you protect that heater from poop and, it's just more complexity than I'm prepared to do right now. So for the rest of the winter, what I'm planning on doing is putting this in the garage, and then they'll be able to, I'll put them in there, and like first thing in the morning, if it's really cold, when I go to work, I don't really want to throw them out there, so they can stay in here at least till lunchtime, and I'll have lights for them and stuff. Or if necessary, they can stay in here all day if it's really cold, which occasionally happens around here. So I think this is going to be a good place for these chickens. In the garage here, it never gets below 40, and I'll insulate that door. It's already kind of insulated, but I put blankets up, And then I'll be able to walk in this door here, put the chickens in this door here, and then I open this up so they should roost. And it might get a little stinky in here, but this will be okay. I just need to put a light so that, well, what I could do, I guess, is turn on the light in the morning before I go to work, so they can have light in here during the day. I'm told they need 14 hours of daylight to lay eggs. So if we get a bad spell of cold weather, that's what I'll do. And then I can use for the bunny, he can be out during the day, but I put him in this tub. I'll put him in this tub, and then I've got that. I was using it for the chickens, but now the chickens have another place, so he can go back. That's really his place when it's really cold. And then I put him out in the morning. He's okay, most likely. It'd have to be, unless it'd have to be really cold.